Corey here with another podcast for Healing for Yarning. Here again in Gadigal country in the settlement. Thank them again for allowing me to use their space. I'll throw over to the brother I got on today.
I'm Justin Peachy. I'm a rugby Wawa man from Warren, New South Wales. I grew up in Campbelltown, and yeah, that's me.
Yeah. How was it growing up in Seatown, bros?
Oh, I think a lot of people had a couple of different experiences. I think it depends what suburb you probably got brought up in Campbelltown. I grew up in Aids, and so it was pretty rough growing up in that neighbourhood. A lot of social housing. A lot of people just didn't have any, encouragement to do work or had any motivation to do anything. I think is probably the thing. And you watched it when you were growing up, and you're like, I definitely watched it and I go, I just don't want to follow that path, and I want to try and do something different compared to what these fellas are doing, because what I seen was, well, they're not getting anywhere in life. They're drinking cases upon cases every week, and where are they back? Doing another 3-4 day bender over the years. So we've always, I think as Aboriginal community, we've watched that happen, but it's probably wrecked our people over a lot of years, and to help that get better, it's like I could be probably the first one to start that change. But there's also not just been me. There's been a couple of other people who've made very good, successful choices over the years to get to where they are. And it's helped our community in general just to that's not the only way of doing things, and so you got people starting their own businesses, doing community work, and they love what they do. And so
No, it's good, Brian. So where'd you go to school?
I went to school at Aids High, where Joel went to. He was in the year below me, and so when we went to school, it was pretty rough. I felt like there was a fight every day after school, before school, in school. They couldn't really care. I just remember a teacher getting caught with a punch once because the teacher wasn't looking, and the other kid came around with a hook. It was like no one cared or respected the school either. It was like they were just going to school because it was a compulsory thing that they had to do. Where if you go to some other schools, some kids want to go to school to learn. Some kids are just, where I was there, it was like, I just have to be here for 6 hours a day. If not, I'm jumping the fence and I'm going down to the local shops to buy hot chips and a soft drink and not care about it. Which made it tough because some of the teachers there were trying to make the experience of school as fun or as good as possible. I remember one of my maths teachers back, he knew a lot of us loved sport, so he tried to go, well, let's go out in the footy field and we'll do trigonometry with people. And I think that's the only way I understood trigonometry in life. Not everyone understood. Probably if you maybe look back, I probably still wouldn't understand trigonometry, but that ended up making me wanting to know more about maths, and I worked out I was better at maths than I was at English. And so as I started going into year 11 and 12, I started picking metals and engineering, and it made me consider what do I want to actually do when I come out of school. And I didn't really know at the time. And I think that was probably one of my biggest struggles, is not understanding where I wanted to go. I wasn't on drugs. I didn't drink alcohol because I watched it how it wrecked our people. And so my teacher, when we were doing metals engineering, he always kept saying, knowledge is power. The more knowledge you can retain is the more powerful you're going to be in the workforce. And I go, whatever, you're a flipping idiot. What do you say to me? But I always remember that now. Kind of years later, I go, well, he's actually right, because the people who've got more knowledge and understand how everything works, they're in higher management positions than where the bottom people would just don't care. They just go on to work to be at work. And so when I eventually got to year 12 and kind of got my ATAR was ridiculously low. I think I got 45 or something.
Yeah.
And if anyone doesn't know, like it only goes up to 99. I got on the bottom end, like I didn't even pass.
Yeah.
I was so, I don't know if you know, but if you get, I think anything below like 43, you just get a dot.
Okay.
So I was very close to a dot.
Okay.
And so I was like, oh, I'm just going to have to apply for uni and see what I can get.
Yeah.
And so I applied for all these unis, and I was doing nothing. So I ended up just, in the summer, I started doing concreting.
Yep.
And I worked out, I didn't want to do concreting very quickly.
Probably day one.
Day one. I worked out it was a very crap job, and it was the boss I was working for. I feel like he just picked all the crappiest jobs. It was like not the jobs that you could like run a concrete pump in or a concrete truck. It was the ones you had to wheelbarrow all the concrete. So I was like, nah, he just wants slave labour essentially. So I was like, not a chance of doing this for another 40 years. And then I used to have on some of our jobs this engineer just bossed us around like, I need you to do that, I need you to do this. I was like, what do I have to do to get your job? And he goes, we have to go to 4 years of uni. And so in that time, I don't know what happened, like a little bit of, like I was just laying in bed on one Saturday and I completely missed an email. I got a letter of offer to go to University of Wollongong College to do a diploma in engineering. And I had to pass this, they had like these online exams before you, like, so they knew you had a baseline level of what you knew. And I was like, oh, I'm going to struggle with this.
Yep.
Going to be honest, my wife helped me do most of it, get me through. And so eventually they go, oh, all right, you're successful. You can start doing your diploma at university.
Nice.
And so I started travelling up and down the mountain because I live in Campbelltown.
Yep.
So to go down to Wollongong, we just call up and down the mountain every day. Let's be honest, I struggled a lot. Like uni was only meant to be 4 days. I was spending 6 days at uni just to try and understand concepts. Just to think about it, you were just a number. And they were moving very quick. If you didn't want to try or have the motivation to try and keep up, they're just going to leave you in the dust. Yeah. And so that was my probably that breaking point. I was like, well, if I want to make something out of myself, I'm going to have to fucking put some hard yards in. I had to reteach myself like fucking some stupid stuff like basic maths. Yeah. Like the shit you should have paid attention in year 7, 8, 9 that's come back to bite you in the bum.
Yep.
And now like I felt like they covered that all in the first week of engineering maths. Like they've done like year 11 and 12 first week, bang, have that.
Yep.
And then they start talking about I know I'm not going to go too far into it, but they start talking about like all these imaginary numbers and how to draw lines on graphs, and this is what like x squared does. Yeah. And like it just kept going up and up. And that wasn't just the only thing. Like you were doing 4 different subjects, and the only easy subject I thought was easy was this sustainability class because it was like black fellas done it all the time. Like we don't go and chuck rubbish out. We put it in the bin. Kind of. Yeah. We don't take stuff off country. We leave it on country. Yep. And if we're gonna knock down a tree, we reuse it. Yep. And so that's the one that come very very easy. So that it probably relieved a little bit of the load if I had to try and focus on 4 classes at once. But I think the lecturer on my last week of the semester, I knew I was like trying like really hard. I'll come and asking questions during the week if I couldn't understand or just needed a little bit of help. And he helped me as much as he could. But on the last week of that semester that he came and there was only 10 of us in the whole lecture hall. Yep. And he goes, well, I'm going to give you a bit of help here. Have a look at these 2 questions. And he gave us the biggest hint of the whole semester that it was the same 2 questions he put in the whole. It was the only 2 questions of the exam. There were 50 mark questions each. They were the exact same questions, just with different numbers. So it was all the kids that are trying that he helped. And then I think about 40% of my cohort failed that subject that year, and so there was people who really understood it, and there was people who remembered it, and then you saw the people who were trying. So I think I took a lesson out of that is you got to sometimes if you want to reap the benefit, you got to put in the effort.
Yeah.
And you just see that in community sometimes. Like if we put in good, we're going to get out good.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Just keep going on.
Yeah, 100%.
Goes to, I guess you can apply that to anything, but you know, winding back a little bit, you know, back to school. You spoke, you know, Brother Jolie there, but it was a very multicultural school.
Yeah, so I'll put it probably this way: there was a lot more of an islander, Aboriginal, like all the different islands, New Zealand, Cook Islands, Samoa. There was probably in Aboriginal people, it was probably 85% were that race between all of us, and then there was probably about 15% of it just like Australian, Indian, and the rest of it. So it was a very like Pacifica kind of school.
Yeah.
Like we had, put it this way, we had like 4 AEOs.
Yeah.
Like no schools ever has that ever. That's how black our school was. Like, just put it in, put that in the concept.
Yeah.
And so they had 4 AEOs, which are Aboriginal Education Officers, and then they had like 2 Pacific Islander. Like support officers as well, because there was kids that were just coming straight from the islands and didn't even know English, which they really struggled. So it just made it a very like it was that vibe of like who had the biggest ego. Like sometimes like in that whole school vibe, it's like, and I try to stay out of it. I used to get into some fights, but people just didn't understand like what happened in Aboriginal culture as well. It's like, oh, well, you're not even black. And that was the comment you always used to get from Pacific Islanders. And so I ended up picking up a chair once, and or was a teacher actually. There was a teacher on exchange from another country, and she goes, all Aboriginal kids on one side and all the whites on another. I picked up a chair and threw it at her.
Wow.
And that's the day she probably understood that there's a lot of trauma as part of what happened to Aboriginal people. Like that's like going back and putting us on missions.
Yeah.
My mum always said, just if they're going to challenge Aboriginality, don't take a part of it. Just give it back to them.
Yeah.
Because there's people like as Aboriginal people, our identity's always been challenged. Like
100%.
We need Aboriginal papers now.
Yep.
We need like some people like you. We know they're Aboriginal, and you can see they're Aboriginal, but they don't know where they're from, and that's because of all this traumatic stuff that's happened to them over the years. And I'm only just seeing that now as I'm getting a lot older. But I was brought up like, and that's from upbringing. It's like you just got to be staunch in your culture, and you know who you are as an Aboriginal person.
Yeah.
And so you just got to stand strong. I think sometimes, bro, and keep it as it is. It's like
100%.
no, well, I am Aboriginal. If you actually knew what actually happened to Aboriginal people, they put us on a mission and they try to break us out. Yeah. And that's why I'm so white, but I'm still Aboriginal.
Yep.
So it's like you got to weigh that up, and I think sometimes we got to bring not just at school, but in general life, we got to bring them on a journey of understanding, because there's some people who are advocates for us, I think, and then there's some people that just want to help, but they don't know how.
No, exactly.
And sometimes there's people leading down a garden path that takes them a little bit off the derail, off the rails. But then there's some other people who got their head switched on. They go, oh, okay, this is how I can help.
Yeah.
And they try and help us as much as they can. So
No, it's growing up in a quite multicultural area and school. How did you find sometimes? Did you find you were stronger in your identity within that, or sometimes could be a little bit lost?
I think sometimes it sounds weird, but when I was at school, I felt like a little bit like less than when I was out in the community.
Yeah.
Because you always had all the uncles and aunties, they all knew who you were. But the hard, I think the tricky thing was a lot of the uncles and aunties from all different parts of the country, like, and so it's like, oh, I'm from Armidale, I'm from Penworth, I'm from Wagga, and so it just made it like, oh, I know your family, and I was like, good, like, you probably know him better than I do, but it's like, because I only got to see him like every so often, like, because I didn't get to go home, get to go see him, and so I think what probably knocked it on the head when I got to about year 11, what do they call it? The Nations of Origin, the ones at the PCYC.
Yep.
I think I was in the original before they started like netball, soccer, and those. It was only rugby league, and it was held at Dubbo. And I don't even know how I got on the team. I think Sheriff just brought me to like West Paddon back in the day, and he goes, "You need this fella on your team. Go take him off to Dubbo." Buddha, who plays for La Perouse and that. Well, he was on the side as well back then. We just ran a mark. We just had, I don't know, it was just, none of us, like, a lot of us didn't know each other. Like, we're just all little pockets of black fellas from different areas. But one thing we knew how to play was footy. And I think that's what happened back when we were at school, was like, something that united us was sport. Like, we couldn't relate over anything. Like, and that's what I found tricky, was like, when you go to like history class, what do you learn? You learn about ancient Egypt.
You learn about everything but Australia.
Right, that's what I was getting at. Like, you might touch on Eddie Mabo, like, I'm talking about a week's worth of work. A snippet. Like, but we don't talk about Australia or Aboriginal history at all. Like, we might touch on, like, the freedom rights as well, but, like, that is one little pocket of work that made Indigenous people get on the map. Because if we didn't have that, well, they're right, we wouldn't be here where we are today. But we don't have I don't think there's nowhere near enough of what we could be learning.
No.
Like, they spend 2 years, like, I had to pick that for a historical, like, history class in year 11 and 12. I wish I could have got to pick Aboriginal study, because that wasn't around when I was at school.
And you know what? It would have been around, it just would have been not offered at that school. Because I done it. I'm a bit older than you. But this is our only thing. So I went to Cleveland Street High School, so in Waterloo, Redfern, Alexandria, we're part of the freedom movements. So I think they felt obliged they needed to do something in the school. So we done it there. But then the way the curriculum worked was an elective, but also then it became a broader subject for other schools they allowed to do, but then we had to do it after hours. Between what was then called, change from Cleveland Street to Alexandria Park Community School to Blackwattle Bay, which is Glebe Public School. So we was used to alternate between those two schools, but it used to happen after hours. So you wouldn't finish the school day till about 5 p.m.
Damn, that would have been intense.
It's
like that just reminds it, like, I think that's kind of triggering as well, just on its own, because it's like when you go back to the mission, like back when the mission days were happening, like, you could only go on the town on certain days. It's like, you have to be here on that certain time. And I wouldn't think it's fair. Like, I would have loved to do it as like an Aboriginal person as a subject, and it depends who's running it as well. Like, if I had another friend who done it, and he goes, well, it was taught by a white teacher trying to teach black history.
We're taught off an English Muslim man, Mr. Abdullah. Beautiful man. But
probably wasn't the right person to teach the class.
No, Mr. Look, I'm telling you, very, very beautiful man. My whole objective at school, because I was a smart ass, was because he converted to Muslim later in life, is I wanted to know his birth name. So I used to call me David, Steve, John, through my own stupidity at the time, not understanding that was his name now and that's what he's moving forward with. But so exactly. It's I know you're a TAFE. Do a diploma in Aboriginal Studies now. And it's taught by Aboriginal teachers.
People. And I think that's probably the best way of doing it, because at least, like, and that's what I was going to say, like, you'd rather one of the uncles and aunties come and teach you and go, oh, even if it wasn't at the school, and they go, oh no, we're going to go teach you in the bush.
Yeah.
No, we'll go make boomerang, we'll go make spears, we'll go teach you how to make our old people would have done it over hundreds of thousands of years. And so, like, it would have kept this progressing a lot more, I think, if we kept getting taught those ways of knowing and doing. Now I feel like, compared to countries, and I know I'm going a little bit off topic here, but countries all over the world, we look at New Zealand, we look at Indigenous Canada, look at all these other countries, I reckon they're way ahead of the bell curve in some other areas than what we could be. Yeah. I understand they've got their own fights that they're doing, but I feel like in some areas they're doing a way better job than what we are. Yeah.
Well, you just look at it'll be a little bit harder here to translate it to us, because we've got over 300 different languages and dialects. But I love listening to the New Zealand anthem. Oh. Like, first in the Māori and then the English, it's just like, how good's that? If we'd done an anthem like that, it may take us 3 days to get through it. Because there's so many languages and dialects. But with that whole thing of, if you want to come together, it's something we need to do together. Yeah. So you touched on, your mum. Yeah. They're telling you to stay strong in who you are. Yeah. Who else is in your family, brothers?
So I grew up with my mum and my nan. Yep. So in social housing. So my nan's, she was a very strong lady as well. Like, she always put a lot of love, but always done like love redirection, I call it. Like slap you over the head, but then go, "You're doing good, son. Like, keep moving forward." But that was a stupid decision that you have made, and made you aware of that. And then you had, like, I feel like I had a lot of, like, they were my two, like, center core people, I would say. But then there was like another outer circle. It was like all the uncles and aunties that everyone knew, mum, nan. Like, if I wasn't home before the street lights are off, it's like my mum had like a little friggin' network. It was like, like all the
web. Should start putting the web out.
All the community, like, there'd be like a location beacon on me in like 3.5 seconds. She'd know where I am, and then she would come and grab me. But there was a lot of like uncles that would go like, oh no, you come, like, you can come to the shops with us. Like, we'll go for a walk. And they go, well, how are you going at school? And they'll mentor you on. Like, you don't know at the time, but they'll mentor you on a walk or a yarn. And they go, well, I don't know if that's the best decision for you, bro, if you're going to do that. Because I was that kid that tried to keep quiet, but like I got really angry really quick. And I think I done the action before I thought about it.
Okay.
So I was like, I'll punch you, not knowing, like, not thinking about the repercussions that will come. And so I remember a teacher in high school, Miss Green, I think her name was. She ran the chess team. So anything I was ever good at school, bro, I was playing chess. She taught me how to play chess. I ended up coming third in state somehow.
Wow.
Couldn't do education. Couldn't do any subjects in life. Could play chess.
You still play?
Oh, just for funsies now. I should pick it back up. I'm just so busy now, like doing what I do. But like with that outer community kind of thing, I think like there was all these different people over the years. Some have passed away now, but like they used to go. When I used to like get angry at mum or something, mum would call one of them. And they'll come around and rouse me. Go, that's everyone you got. Like, you get rid of your mum and your nan. Who have you got? No one. You might as well go down to DCJ and hand you like self in. Like, not as a joke, but they're just trying to be like, they love you enough unconditionally that they're always there for you. But the first thing you need to do is acknowledge that you've stuffed up. And I think that recorrection and redirection kept, like, it was like, I always thought about it as like the bowling alley with the bumpers on. Like, they're just trying to make sure you hit the 10 pins at the end, but that I just kept re-guiding you all the way back on. And then you always had those loving aunties that go, oh, sometimes you just need that loving auntie come here, my baby, you're right.
Yep.
Like when you had a shit day at school or something and you're frustrated at something and you just want to bottle it up, because that's what used to happen when I got into my older years at high school. I think I just was like a kettle. I just boiled everything.
Yeah.
And then there'll be that one person that pushes you over the edge, and then you just the lid just flips off, and then that person's copping everything.
Yep.
And so that was me. Like I used to just have to hold it in, and I feel like that's more of a not just a me problem, but it's an intergenerational problem.
Yeah.
Like we copped all this stuff for so many years, and now people are starting, like, they're not afraid to speak up anymore.
Yeah.
And when the government come and have a yarn about it, you're the one wearing the badge, you're copping it.
100%.
And so that's that stuff sometimes, like they're starting to get better at. Like, I think they're acknowledging it now, like a bit more, which I think is a lot better around that, because you go back and they're starting to make all these fixes with stolen generation and stuff, and it's not quick, and I understand that.
Yeah.
I don't think it should go quick.
No. You need a lot of consult yarns.
Yeah. I think it needs to sit there. I think we need to think it, like, not think about what we've done, but think about what's happened over the past.
Yeah.
And there's not going to just be one. It's not just going to be one band-aid. It's going to be multiple different ways, because people heal differently.
Yes.
People take trauma differently.
Yep.
And how they understand it. And I'm still on that journey of learning how different people handle trauma. I think is some people go quiet, and you don't even know, like they
shut off.
They shut off.
They get louder.
Yeah. So you just got to make sure, like, I just make sure you make the room comfortable.
Yeah.
And I had an auntie as well. She was part of Stolen Generations.
Mm-hmm.
She had to have all the blinds open.
Yeah.
The door had to be open.
Yep.
She faced the door.
Yep.
She could see everyone that's coming in.
Yep.
Like that was her trauma at the
Yeah.
time. But it was a way of just making sure she felt comfortable.
Exactly right.
And I think we just got to understand that sometimes. Like, and those things, like when I grew up in here, you come up with those little safety measures around that, and how to control it, and how to look after it, or how to look after yourself to make sure you feel comfortable in what you do. And sometimes you don't pick up on it until later days in life. You go, well, that's not normal, Justin. Well, that's not normal what we did. And so I only started working that out when I was like 25. That's not normal. But we thought it was normal.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Oh, Uncle and Aunt's out on the road having a fight again. Oh,
yeah.
That's normal.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's easy to do that. It's normal for us to say it, but doesn't actually mean that it's okay normal. You know, that's that society view thing too, of how do we break down what we think is normal.
Yes.
And there's that accountability of our own thoughts, which sometimes it's a big topic to talk about, but accountability of our own thoughts, is because we're the only one in charge of them.
Yes.
So it's up to us to start challenging our own thoughts with the accountability. And it's like, well, no, that's not normal. Yeah. It's like, in any circumstance of someone having a fight. Well, fights aren't normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially in settings and stuff like that, and we normalise it because we're like, oh, they just don't get on, or something must be going on over there, or they must have done something.
Yeah.
We start making it normal because we look for the justification where we just don't know what's happening.
100%.
Yeah.
So it's like, and like I always think, like, how would our old people have sorted this out? They would have sat down and had a yarn about it. You sit down, and we're going to sit here and you can talk it out.
Exactly.
And then we're going to tell you who's wrong and who's right.
Yeah.
You might have some might have some rights on both sides, but
Yep.
we're going to make sure this comes to a head and we're going to knock it off.
Yeah.
Because this, like, they'll go, this stuff needs to stop.
100%. And that's, those conversations that we need to talk about more, because there's that misconception of, and it happens a lot with our people, is wanting to raise young men as warriors.
Yeah.
Well, 100% agree with you. However, we weren't a savage race that would go out and fight each other if we disagree.
Yeah.
We sat down with elders and we had hard conversations about what was going on.
Yes.
Yes, there might have been circumstances that led to a path that was a physical altercation. But there was a whole lot of work that went there to say, well, we can't resolve this.
100%. And like, I think that's probably the way we need to start getting back to. Like, we're watching all these, like, I don't like it. We're watching all these communities have rows. Like, and some people go, is it my position to jump in? Well, I feel sometimes in my gut that it goes, well, sometimes we do need to jump in. And I don't care if I have to be the mediator of trying to sort this out, but I just can't keep watching it happen.
Yeah.
Because John and Mary are still going to have a row, and then their kids are going to think it's normal.
Yep.
And then, like, as it keeps going down, it's going to be harder and harder
to break that cycle.
Yep. Where it should have been knocked on the head 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So, and that's what probably made it hard in here. It's like there was that, what was normal? Oh, let's just drink every weekend.
Yeah, that normalised behaviour.
And it's like, it was, like, don't get me wrong, it was easy to get yardy, it was easy to get drugs of any kind in ads. Like, as kids, like growing up, you knew where every drug dealer was.
Yeah.
So it was like, I could get that, like, if I wanted to. And I'm glad I didn't have that, like, addiction kind of, like, part of my mindset. Because some people, once they get that hook, how hard is it to get people off the drugs and alcohol? Like, they might not get broken for another 15 years after that to heal themselves.
Yeah.
So, but overall, it's like when you came back around and I have a look back at life, like back when I was growing up, I think sometimes it did build some resilience in me.
Yep.
Like, it did build some good core attributes in the way I deal with things. Like, you weren't afraid to speak up, and you go, well, that's not right.
Yeah.
But then there's also other things that I think that were downfalls, like how to deal with stuff. Like, I'd rip someone in the middle of a meeting. Like, like, but you thought that was normal. Yeah. Where probably the normal way is you get them outside the meeting, have a hallway conversation, you go, hey bro, I don't think that's right. Yeah. Can we have a yarn about it? Yeah. And I'll explain to them, like, this is me looking back on how I used to do things to how I do now. Is like, I'll sit down with you and I'll explain to you why I don't think it's right. And then sometimes they don't understand that they're actually doing it. Yeah. Like, and that's the journey that we need to go on.
No, exactly right. That's just going back to a yarn that you were just having before around, being at uni, doing the diploma. What was then the next step to go on further?
So I had to eventually, I finished my diploma at uni. I ended up going to University of Western Sydney, or Western Sydney University.
Yep.
It changed names while I was there. So people remember as two different wordings. We went out at the Rimba campus. I don't know if you've been there. It was like the old Navy base.
Yes.
It's like, you wouldn't know it's there unless you were meant to be there.
Okay.
Like, it's one of those campuses. And the only other, like, kind of course that was ran out there, TAFE was behind it doing, like, auto mechanics and body spray kind of works. And so I done my associate degree in engineering while I was still working full time then. Yeah. Because I was working at WSP. And eventually, once I finished my associate degree, I ended up going, I had a look and I was going, I could probably do get a better role
Yeah.
at a different company
Yep.
instead of trying to, because they were going to put me as like a grad when I've already done like 4 years of experience. I could pretty much design a road by now, design utilities. Like I pretty much didn't need people to I still had to get people to check my work. Every engineer gets people to check their work. But I was like, I don't think I don't think I was an entry level. I think I should just skip the grad kind of period.
Yep.
And just go to like a road designer or road engineer. And so I put my feelers out. So I ended up going over to Arab. And they're like, yeah, we'll give you a go. Ended up doing like a whole, I pretty much got chucked in the deep end, bros. It's like, you want to learn? We're just going to chuck you every complex project that you can do and you're going to have to work it out. So it's like, all right, sweet. At that time, I got taught by a couple of people, like a Shell. There was a guy by the name of Abel Striker, which I always found a fantastic name. And there was these two old guys that I got taught by. They couldn't use the software if they even tried. They didn't want to learn. They didn't. They're like, we're about to retire kind of mindset, but we'll teach you everything that we know. And so I was like, all right. They gave me 3 rules. I had to get there at 7 o'clock every morning into the city, so I had to leave my house at like 4:45. Had to go join them for their coffee every morning, so they just sat down and talk crap for half an hour. I just had to make sure that I had them all organised as they were. I had all their paperwork set up because they were very old school. They did everything by writing. But they used to draw stuff up on butcher's paper. Yeah. Swimming. They go, oh yeah, just go do this. You remember the old 1 meter wooden rules that you used to have at school? They used to draw it up with permanent marker. They go do this section. So sections when they cut a line through the road, and so they can show all the grades and the rest of it. Yeah. And so they just taught me everything they knew. Yeah. And Transport for New South Wales and the rest of it, they always loved these 2 guys because they knew why people built different parts of the roads for reasons, because they were just around for that long. They were part of the old guard, essentially. That you could probably say. And so they just even if senior managers are speaking to them, they kept they just stayed at senior engineers, but those managers above them would just listen to them. Yeah. And you just knew their knowledge was everything, because it's you can't get that kind of knowledge back. Yeah. They have all this historical knowledge of why they built the Anzac. I'm just using this example, why they built the Anzac Bridge the way it is. You wouldn't know that if you went and looked at it now. Yeah. And so after that, I spent 2-3 years with them, and they eventually they both retired on the same day.
Oh wow!
They just made an agreement. We're retiring on this day. They spent 30 years together. They were 2 peas in the pod, these lads, but I was glad they taught me everything. Yeah. They knew. And so when I eventually done that, I thought I learnt a lot. I think there's only so much you can learn in road engineering as well. So what I did, I was well, I want to do some engagement with community, our mob. Yeah. And so I got the opportunity to do that within Arab. So they split my job in half. They're we'll split it straight down the line with a knife. And they would go, we need you to still road design because we haven't got enough of them at the moment. Yep. So you're going to have to do a little bit of extra work sometimes. But we're going to give you to do the engagements. Yeah. So I done there's a few I can't talk about because they put non-disclosures in about it. But, so non-disclosures, you can't really talk about the project. But there was other projects that was my first project was out of Western Sydney Airport. So I was oh, awesome. Ended up doing all the civil design, everything but the airport runway. Yeah. And then I got to help engage with mob. what better way to do it?
Yeah.
But then eventually they got like a full-time person in to do like the engagement, so my role kind of ended in that space.
Yeah.
But then I just kept kicking on. Like we used to do a lot of pro bono work essentially.
Yeah.
And so it was like, well, let's do road design for community, doing like an old track that used to lead to all these community houses, but no one would do the design for them, so they could do it up.
Yeah.
And so we got to do, I think it was like this was probably coming up to like 2018, 2019 by then, like when the it was after all the floods and that happened down the south coast.
Yeah.
I can't remember what year, but it was a while ago.
Yeah.
But the fires came and then the floods came, and like within like a month or two, they just got smashed.
Yeah.
And so we're just helping redesign all their tracks so they could go through their skid steer with certain levels, and make sure community was okay.
Yeah.
And then that led on to I don't even know how I got here, bruh. Like I just remember it just having conversations within the company. They're like, "Oh, can you help run a workshop on cultural burning? The community want to run it, but they just need people to just like help set it up and get it all ready for facilitation." I was like, "All right, let's do it."
Yeah.
What do we need to get? Well, we need to get all these government departments into one room. I was like, so how do I start with it? Like, I really struggled at that time. Like, so what departments do we actually, like, I had to understand what departments we actually needed. And like, I feel like there's so much overlap between
different departments. Yeah.
And now, like, and that was at the time I was at, like, I'm in government now, but previous to that, like, I was like, well, what are we actually doing? Like, and so what it was all about, we ended up having it down at the south coast, down near Batesman's Bay.
Yep.
And the I think Batesman's Bay Lout, I think they were called. They took pretty much the lead on what they were doing at the time, and so we just got everything onboarded. And then we ended up getting all these government agencies. We ended up running like another 5 workshops after that because we had too many people who signed up for it. So we had to like move it around.
Yeah.
Because we thought, we'll get 30 or 40 people. Yeah. We can fit them all in the room. Nah, it was like 180 first straight off the bat.
Wow.
And then they were going, well, this is something that people want to know, and how can we move forward? Because what the Basins Bay Lout did, they finally worked out how to get insurance for Aboriginal cultural burning at that time. Because it was very difficult to get, and I think it's still very difficult to get. And what government, like everyone came with their own little agenda, as everyone always does. Yeah. But I think the one main point that government came to community with was, what's your main barrier? Like we understand it's your insurance, but what's the problem to get the insurance? Yeah. Like, a lot of it was like, because there was so minimal people doing cultural burning at the time, it was so expensive. Yeah. And I think it's still very expensive. Like, we're not like talking about 2 or 3 grand here, bro. Like, it's like 50 or 60 grand a year. Yeah. And like, in the agricultural kind of space where you would normally put that kind of work, it's probably the lowest paid kind of work that you could probably do. Yeah. And so it made it very difficult for people to even make wages, never mind trying to get a 60 grand insurance bill. Yeah. So, so they worked on that, and I think they're still working on it, trying to de-gravel it all. And there's a couple of more like private businesses have got their insurances now to make that all work, because they've brought the risk down and the rest of it. I know there was a yarn happening sometime last year that there were the government was going to try and chip in some way or form to just make it like a pool that they'll cover under this insurance. But they've got to like draw a square on where they were going to burn that at that time. Okay. So it's like, well, that square's insured. Up to a certain amount, but I think that's just got put on pause at the moment. But I think that'd be a very good idea. Because you've got some communities that just want to do it for the community, and they're all volunteers. And they just want to look after
their own. Yep. Look
So,
after mother.
Look after mother.
Yeah.
Uh.
No, it's interesting because like on that insurance side of things, and not asking for a response for you and make it so hard, but all these mining companies that take from the country, take from mother, their insurances would be all
100%.
a lot easier process. I don't know how expensive and shit, but it would be an easier process rather than let's look after mother and burn her like the way she needs to be burnt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think the difference is when they take, they're making money off everything they take. We're not taking it. We're just trying to put love back in.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know if you've ever drove past a mine, but you just see all these trees that got planted. They're trying to offset all their money so they don't need to pay anything. I'm like,
especially around June.
My one pet peeve, bruh. The one thing that drives me at the wall is that when they plant all the trees in one line, and you're like, cuz I couldn't care if you go out there with a golf club and knock a few balls around and wherever they land you plant a tree, but a line just doesn't cut it. And you go see it out in rural areas now, it's like, just zigzag, we'll do something different.
Else. Do something else here.
Just not a straight line.
Yeah.
Just gives me, it drives me out the wall because it's
just unnatural. It's unnatural, but it's also, they haven't got a machine that does it in a zigzag.
Yeah.
With a machine, they can drive one way and plant. You know what I mean? Like it's yeah. But so you touched on you're in government now. So what are you doing?
So now I moved from Arab, probably 4 years ago.
Yep.
And I moved into a little department called Create New South Wales. And so that's the arts and culture department, essentially, of the government. And so I'm the Associate Director for First Nations Cultural Spaces now. And I'm doing just a lot of work around the stolen generation homes, so mainly around Kelly House out of Parramatta.
Yep.
And so I'm pretty much just project managing, and I'm the stakeholder manager, I'm the building manager. We just make sure the building's on time and making sure it's done right. I think the key word is right. We don't rush. If they are comfortable, we don't move.
Yeah.
If they're comfortable, we keep moving.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's a survivor-led kind of work, and they tell us how slow, quick, what colour they want, what they want it to feel like. Yeah. And I just try and make it work with what we have. And so the easiest way I normally explain it to people is if it's aesthetically looking, if we're looking at it physically in a room, that's their decision. They can make it. Yeah. But they go to me, Justin, I want to put a big freaking boomerang on that wall. Well, I'm going, we might need to reinforce that wall there. Yeah. Before we go put something on that wall. Yeah. I might just go do that without them, so they can just go do it what they want. Yeah. And so I've done that to a couple of walls with the Kelly House just to make sure they've shared their aspirations of what they want to do with it. Yep. I'm just making sure they can make it work. Yeah. And so there's some things I've done that over the things just to make stuff work for what they want. Yeah. Because I think the first thing that we don't do enough, or overall in general, is we don't listen enough. No. When I first started that Hub project, I sat down with them 4 days. First day I didn't even speak about the project. Yeah. It was just biscuits, coffee, tea, food. Let's just talk let's talk crap. Yeah. Because the first thing, they had to feel comfortable that they could build a relationship with me and build trust. A lot of people have broken trust with 100% over the years. All of them have got my number. Yeah. My personal number. I haven't even got a work phone, bros. I give them my personal number. They can ring whatever time they would like. Yeah. And I've made that very clear to all of them. I had one auntie a couple of months ago ring me at 10:30 on a Saturday night. Not even work hours. And she goes, nephew, just thinking about that wall there, like, I don't know if that's in the right spot. And I go, I've already kind of thought about that, Aunt. And she goes, this is what I thought. And I kind of just, I normally sometimes come to them with a few options.
Yeah.
So like, because sometimes they don't know what they want.
Yeah.
And so I just go, like, I'll go move a wall. So I was like, I'll send you an option. Here, have a look at this. Knocked it on the head, Neff. Leave it with that.
Yeah.
And that's all that happened. But when they feel comfortable, and they can call you at any time, I feel like that's when they start sharing as well.
No, exactly.
I start hearing all these other stories, good stories, but then there's also the triggering stories that sometimes, like, to be honest, I wasn't ready to hear.
Yeah.
Like, they were heavy. And like sometimes you just go from a casual yarn, what we're having now, to we just dropped off a cliff and now we're going deep.
Yeah.
And they, and I think just coming back to that yarn we had earlier, they thought it was normal.
Yeah.
And it's like that, like I had to start off with like, hey, are you okay?
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm fine. Like,
yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But like they thought it was normal.
No.
So
Exactly.
yeah.
So, you know, just because you don't like going a straight line, we'll do a bit of a zigzag. So we'll go back to, family. So you touched on your wife.
Yeah.
How long you been married for?
I got married in 2020. So I got married on the day of COVID when New Zealand got locked down.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if anyone knew that, but we got married on the 14th of March 2020. And so that night I had people from New Zealand, so just as like her uncles and all that still live over in New Zealand, so they all had to go, because I had my wedding at Memel or Goat Island at the time. And so when that all happened was we were all on the island at the time, and the New Zealand government was like, oh, we're going to shut down the whole country. They all looked at me and started freaking out, going, can we get the boat back? I was like, the boat's ours for the whole night. Like, we booked it out. Let's just call the boat. Like, we'll get you back to where you need to be. They all got in. They all were so apologetic that they had to cut my wedding in half. But I think it was the best time. I think the best thing about it, and I say it now, when looking back, no one drunk. Everyone could remember my wedding. Yeah. I think people go to some weddings and go, I don't remember that. Yeah. Like, I don't even remember what happened after 4 o'clock because I was so blind off my feet that I can't remember what happened there.
So you had a sober wedding?
Sober wedding. Everyone was sober.
How good?
It was bring your own, but no one brought any.
Nah.
And so, it just made the vibes good. Everyone was just, how do I explain it? Everyone was just having a yarn and a good laugh.
Yeah, yeah.
And everyone was like, let's put it this way. Everyone, the mic was a free pickup essentially, and anyone wanted to run me down, could have. There was a few people who'd done that.
So that's why I wasn't invited.
Yeah. So, over the years, so like when that all happened was like. Everyone just like, Brad Cole, like Terry's dad, picked up the phone, picked up the mic, Uncle Shane picked up the mic. Everyone just, I remember this fella was running around in his nappies. Thank you for telling me all my young things. There was the yarn that I picked up, a gherkin on the way home from Redfern All Blacks training when I was like 14, and I chucked it at a car, and I said, Allahu Akbar. Everything, the fellow was saying, like, this cunt could have got a shot at the time. This is stuff I don't remember, but they all remember all these little things about me. Like, it's like you with the teacher just trying to get his birthday. What's your actual birthday, bruh? Like, we don't think about it at the age we're at. That we think back and that person was so loving, they still put time and effort into it. So, yeah.
Right. And kids?
Oh, kids. So I've got Isaiah and Malachi. Isaiah's 3:34, and Malachi just turned one about a month and a half ago, so he's about 13 months. And so Malachi, well, there's a little bit of an age difference. Like his A is starting to run around and
Yep.
get up to mischief a little bit now, and go away. His new thing, not swearing, he just calls you fat. He goes, "Hey, Dad, you're fat." Malachi just still laughs, and he's just getting to that point where he's just standing up off furniture and the rest of it. So he's not walking fully yet, but overall,
They're going well.
yeah, going well.
No worries, bro. Well, final question.
Yeah.
When it's all said and done, and you're off from the dream time, what do you want to be remembered for, bros?
I think trying to help change happen. I think we've experienced so much as Aboriginal people, and I feel like as part of the job I'm doing now, I'm being, I don't know, I'm not the gatekeeper, but I'm like the person that's trying to herd the right people to the right spots.
Yep.
And making sure that we're doing it right and doing it properly the first time. And we're not going to try and butcher what we're doing.
Yep.
And so I think that just comes down to just doing it, being like, I think having your ethics right.
Yeah.
Being ethical of what you do. And that's probably something I want to probably take with me. Sometimes, like, even if I get known as the person of, oh, gee, he was a prick at that time, but looking back, he was trying to do what was right for our people.
Yeah.
Well, so be it. I'm happy with that.
Too easy, bro.
Too easy.
Thank you.
Too easy, bro.